Thursday is Veterans Day, a time to honor those who have served our country. There will be traditional parades in communities across the community and across the country honoring these men and women. We just had one in Detroit on Sunday. And they serve our country. After they serve our country, many face new challenges that can impact their financial situations in ways that are different from the average civilian. Our sponsor, Custom Wealth Solutions, may be able to help veterans with unique circumstances. We're joined by CEO Mike Wendell. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning, Toddy.
What is Custom Wealth Solutions? Give us a little brief description.
Custom Wealth Solutions is a full-service financial firm, and we focus primarily on planning for and helping people through their retirement, being successful, learning how to get their income the most tax-efficient way, and obviously working inside the investments and providing advice across their entire financial picture.
Okay, full picture of everything. But let's talk about this. What kind of things may have been impacted by the pandemic when it comes to finances, and in particular, those of veterans?
Obviously, the pandemic's been hard on everybody, but the big things here, unemployment, which obviously got bad for everyone, but it also hit veterans. And here in Michigan, the hardest of any state in the country, where back in October of last year was over 11% of veterans were unemployed in the state of Michigan. That affects then childcare. Inflation, again, is another big thing that affects everyone, but veterans in particular. A lot of times when you're in the service or you're living on base, you don't necessarily see a lot of that pricing increase of certain items, where once you then transition to civilian life, now all of a sudden you have to start paying for that, and it can really be a big hit.
Wow. Okay. Now, what are the unique circumstances for veterans and their families?
Well, what we've seen, really over the last year is just trying to figure out, how do we stay looking forward and plan for our retirement. If we retired and this, from the service and we're now out in the workforce, how do we look at short term and making sure we're being taken care of, but also how do we make sure that we're looking forward? A lot of that is looking at, how do we get money for education, is one of those things, or helping our children pay for college, stuff like that. Healthcare is another big one. Once you're out of the service, depending on your circumstances, if you have healthcare through them, through the armed services, that helps. If not, what do you do there? Big thing here, veterans get a lot of benefits, a lot of discounts, a lot of things that they can take advantage of. VA loans for homes are a big one. Obviously, right now we're in a very, very low interest rate environment in general, let alone for veterans. And also, give everybody a tip here. Look at militarybenefits.info. This is a site that lists off areas where there are discounts specifically for armed services and veterans.
Very good. Now, what questions should veterans ask and their family asks about financial plans?
The big thing here is, first, have a plan. We want to make sure that we have a plan. We want to know how we're gonna get from here through and then into and through retirement. So having a plan is huge. We put together a retirement blueprint for all of our clients, and we're happy to do that for any veteran that wants to reach out. Another big one here is when you're in the service, you can contribute to your TSP. Once you're out of the service and retired, you can no longer contribute to that. Don't forget about it. If you're going to leave it in there, make sure you're looking at it, or get it to an advisor or get it somewhere where it can be actively managed. Obviously, right now the market is very volatile. We're at a market high. We want to make sure we're keeping an eye on that so that we don't give back a lot of those gains we've earned over the last years.
Hey, all about the strategy. Great information. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you, Toddy. Good talking to you.
Same here. Thank you. To learn more about Custom Wealth Solutions, the services they offer, and how they may be able to help you or a loved one, visit their website, customwealthsolutions.com. Again, that's customwealthsolutions.com.